Okay, this is Tactical Breach Wizards. It's a small-scale tactics game where you play as a team of wizards in modern-day tactical gear, breaking into drug dens and terrorist hideouts and stuff like that. So on the left here is the Riot Priest. That's one of the two wizards we have for this mission. And her signature ability is Charge, which I can use to knock this guy through a window. And that guy was kind of easy to take out because he's standing right in front of a window. This guy is not, but we have a nice long run up to him. And the way Charge works is that the amount of knockback it does is just the number of squares you travelled in your run-up. And so that guy had a huge amount of knockback, and then when he hits a wall, all of the leftover knockback is taken as damage. So a long run-up like that will take out even pretty tough enemies. She's kind of a tank character, and she actually gains mana when she takes damage. So this is a kind of experimental thing we're trying, but the idea is that every character would have their own way of generating mana that's kind of relates to their personality. And because the Riot Priest has been part of this kind of terrible regime for a long time, she's done some bad things, and her daughter nearly died because of it, she is kind of racked with guilt. And so not only can she take the punishment, but she actually kind of likes it, and it fuels her more powerful abilities. So we'll rewind a bit and show you the Witch Cop. The Witch Cop is a witch and also a cop, although actually no longer a cop because she gets fired in the intro. She's very by the book, and she didn't really fit in with her team, who were very not by the book and actually outright corrupt. And she was always kind of passed over for promotion and not really treated as part of the team, and ultimately fired. So she now has a kind of a confidence problem. So she actually starts with very little mana, and she can only build it by completing objectives and getting things done, like taking out enemies. But because she's very by the book, she gets no mana for using excessive force. So if she takes this guy out by knocking through the window, she gets no mana for that because that was kind of excessive. Whereas if she takes out this guy, he had 2 health. This one-shot ability does 1 damage and 1 knockback, so he ultimately takes 2 damage. And that's the exact right amount of damage. So if she does that, if she only uses necessary force, she gets mana for that. So probably the best way to take out this bunch of people is to have the Riot Priest do the window slam. Riot Priest not so concerned about using excessive force, and then Witch Cop is going to take out this guy as planned, and then we'll just commit our turn. So I've been rewinding a lot and trying lots of different things. That's not just a dev tool, that's something I actually want the player to do as well. I love making games with really kind of wild abilities that can interact in interesting ways, and those are the games I love playing as well. But over the years, I've noticed there are a lot of people who kind of want to like those games, but can't get into them because there's too much risk in experimenting. There's too many consequences for failing, and so they don't try any of the interesting things. And so I want to kind of encourage some of those people to just play around and just try stuff and just use weird abilities in crazy ways and see if you can like shoot your own guy and that kind of stuff. And through that, discover the interesting stuff and find really cool tactics that do work and are kind of spectacular. So we'll commit our turn now, see what the enemies do. The enemy, this guy's thrown a grenade. He's a grenade enemy, so that is kind of his thing. And our Riot Priest is being tracked by this other guy. That means at the end of this turn, the end of our turn, she will get shot, but only if this guy still has line of sight. So he will track her as she moves around. She moves over here, he's still tracking her. But if I instead have her go around this corner, he can't track her there, because as soon as you break line of sight, they lose the tracking. We actually can do better than just simply avoiding this guy, because I can't knock him through a window directly myself, but if I swap with him, now he's in front of a window and the Witch Cop can see him. Witch Cop is obviously going to step out of the range of this grenade, because that's going to go off the end of our turn as well, and then she can just knock him through the window. No mana for that. That is not how she's supposed to be doing things. Okay, Grenade Guy has predictably fired a grenade, and you know what? Witch Cop is also very fast. I don't know if you noticed the difference in their move range. Riot Priest is slow, Witch Cop is fast. She can actually run all the way past this guy and then shoot him back into his own grenade range and we'll blow him up. So this rewinding stuff, it obviously makes the game a bit easier. You know, there's less kind of stakes to each action you take. You're free to just play around and try stuff. And I actually don't want the game to be very difficult to complete, because it's going to be a story-driven experience. It's about recruiting this team of wizards. I think there's going to be about 6 of them, all very different characters with their own personality and backstory. And I kind of want everyone to get through it. Like, just completing the game should not be brutally difficult. But I do also want stuff for the more experienced players to aim for, like extra achievements that they can go for. And the main one of that is style points. So when I hack this laptop, which I've just moved to the wrong laptop, I get some style points for that, and the amount I get is how early we did it. If you do it turn 1, you get loads of style points, and if you do it later, it goes down each turn. And style points don't get you anything mechanical. I didn't want to let you spend them to like get new weapons and stuff, because I don't want a system where the more easy you're finding the game, the more advantages we give you. That doesn't work. So what I wanted was that style points should unlock cosmetic outfits, so like new looks for your characters. We don't have any of those yet, but that's the plan. And I was struggling a bit because I couldn't think of like a reason for that. Like, why would, doing a mission in a very stylish way let you unlock a different outfit? Is this a currency you're spending? Is there a shop somewhere? How does that make sense? And then I realized, no, you already own all the outfits. That's just your wardrobe, but you don't have the confidence to wear the more outlandish ones yet. And so you have to, if you pull off a mission in a really stylish way, then that gets you enough style points that you feel like, you know what, this suit of gold armor, I can get away with that. So this mission is over now. We've hacked the laptop and it's done. So if we commit, we'll go to the next level. The size of the levels and all that is still very much in flux. We don't know, like, is this as big as the level gets, or will they get bigger than this, or should they all be really small? We're still experimenting with that. But the idea is these are rooms in the same building, so we're progressing from one room to the next. And in this room, you can see there's these yellow tiles, which are Overwatch tiles. If I try and run past one of these with a witch cop, it doesn't go well for her, because this guy here is I guess we're just calling him the Overwatch enemy at the moment. But he's very twitchy and very ready to shoot anybody who crosses that particular line. So this strategy doesn't work. I like doing it a couple of times because it's really brutal. But the Riot Priest can help her out here, because she can get in the room, and if she just charges into that guy first, then the Witch Cop is free to get in. So kind of breaching from multiple entrances and figuring out order of operations is definitely going to be part of the game. And Witch Cop from here, I think, should probably just take out this guy, because again, anyone up against a wall, she can take out very neatly and get mana for it, and we're going to be spending some of that later. And let's see what the enemy does. Okay, Witch Cop is now being tracked by this guy. Overwatch guy did not move, and the enemy didn't walk through them. These Overwatch zones actually, they will shoot anything that goes in that zone, so if we push an enemy into it, that will happen as well. We would really like to take this guy out, and the Witch Cop, now that she has a lot of mana, she can use her Chain Lightning ability. I'm calling this less lethal Chain Lightning at the moment, and all your abilities are actually non-lethal, because like even if you knock someone through a window, we say like, oh, yeah, actually cast Slowfall on them, so they're fine when they get out. We don't want you to actually be murdering people. But less lethal Chain Lightning, the idea is that you can it chains from target to target, but you get to choose who it hits and in what order, and it knocks them all in the direction that they are being hit by it. So this guy would go through this window, which is great, but I've got no one else to link it to, really. There's no one else I can target there. I can target to my Riot Priest, but that's obviously doesn't get us anything in and of itself, unless if we move the Riot Priest first. Like, what I really want to do is take out this Overwatch guy. So if I just move the Riot Priest into their range, she got shot, but like I say, she has armor and she generates mana from getting hit anyway, so that's not such a bad thing. And now we can Chain Lightning to this guy, then to our Riot Priest, who's going to get knocked in this direction, which she should be fine with. And then, because I've lined her up specifically in that Overwatch guy's range, we can chain from her to the Overwatch guy. And if we confirm that, that takes out both of them, which is very neat. So I'm happy with that. Let's commit. This is an enemy Riot Priest. They're coming for us. They are, like our Riot Priest, very tough, and they can do that nasty charge move. So I'd like to charge them first. I can't get all the way over to like line up and get a proper charge angle. You can only charge in 4 directions. But actually I still have 1 mana left on the Witch Cop, so she can use her last Chain Lightning charge just to nudge our friend. Like, that's only knockback, and they didn't slam into a wall, so they're okay. And now they're in line to do this charge, which looks cool, but actually doesn't do much to this heavily armored Riot Priest. And they can do it back to us, and that also doesn't do much. But this is a good occasion to show the Riot Priest's mana spender, which is Sensor Slam. So this cluster of smoke grenades she's swinging is a sensor, and I think you'll have various ones of those with different effects, but the one we have just spends all of our mana as damage. So if I hit that Riot Priest, takes them out pretty much in one go. So that's Tactical Breach Wizards. This is very early. It looks a lot more finished than it is. Our artist, John Roberts, has done an annoyingly great job of making it look really, really good really, really soon. And so that you might notice this UI stuff. That's mine, and if you can't tell. And that is a better representation of how finished this game is. It's a long way off. These 2 levels I've shown you are the only 2 levels we have. But we're imagining it as being kind of maybe an 8-hour long story campaign. It's not a roguelike. It's not endless. Currently it's not procedurally generated. I don't know if we'll do that or not. So the idea is that a mission would be several of these rooms within one building. You're working your way towards some kind of final objective or boss. And then afterwards you go back to base and you'd be talking to other wizards with dialogue trees, choosing what you want to say, finding out more about them, and probably choosing between different equipment that you've unlocked and different skills leveling up in some form, although we don't know what yet, but not a base building section or a strategy map or anything like the Geoscape in XCOM. It's much more of a story-focused campaign and just about using cool spells in interesting ways in the tactics side of things, and then getting to know these characters in the story side of things. So if any of that sounds good, please do wishlist it on Steam, and we will show more when it's ready.